very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News here on Rajya TV. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. At least 14 people are killed in a mass shooting in Southern California in the US. Police say 2 suspects have been shot dead. A manhunt is on for the 3rd suspect. More rain predicted for Chennai, that's already battling its worst floods in 100 years. Airport shut down till December 6th. People are stranded on rooftops. The Chief Minister is to make an aerial survey today. Cabinet gives the nod to setting up of an operationalization of 6 new IITs and approval for easing FDI policy in 15 sectors. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj may travel to Pakistan next week. Islamabad has sent an invite for the 14-nation ministerial level conference, but New Delhi is yet to finalize on the visit. And British aircraft take off to bomb IS targets in Syria hours after their parliament votes in favour of David Cameron government's motion. Our top focus remains on the flood situation in Chennai, which has gone from bad to worse as more rains continue to lash the city and its suburbs. All major rivers and lakes are flowing at danger levels. The drainage system has completely choked, resulting in flood waters entering houses. People have been stranded at rooftops in many areas. All modes of transport remain suspended. The airport, in fact, has been shut down till the 6th of December. In fact, yesterday we saw in both houses of parliament deliberating, of course, on the situation that's developing there in Chennai, urging really to call it now a national calamity. In fact, in the wake of the flood alert issued in parts of Tamil Nadu, the state government as well has, of course, the Chennai Corporation, in fact, releasing a number of list of the emergency contact numbers as well, which we'll be giving to you in a short while from now. Meanwhile, as far as the situation is concerned, as you can see, almost every place in Chennai and its suburbs waterlogged, seriously waterlogged, and now with the drainage system as well seeping into people's houses. Not just the flood situation that is a worry, it's also the fact of several diseases that may follow after. Schools and colleges have been shut down. There is, of course, a call for the 3rd and the 4th of December too to be declared as a state holiday as well. And like we said, in the wake of the flood alert issued in parts of Tamil Nadu, the Chennai Corporation has released a list of emergency contact numbers for all regional zones in the city. Here are the numbers that are on your screen. While you look at those numbers and take a note of them, we're also being joined by journalist Suresh Babu, who is, of course, been giving us an update really on how the situation stands in Chennai, joining us on the phone line from there again. Suresh, I hope today is a little better as far as rain's concerned, though the forecast has been of heavy rains for not just today, but the coming 2-3 days as well.
Actually, there is no rains overnight, but Chennai is marooned in water. It's, most of the places water is flooded. And 25 NDRF teams from early morning, they are on rescue operations. Till now, about 86,000 people have been rescued from the flood-affected area. Home Minister Rajya Singh had spoken to Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha and assured all the help for the flood rescue operations. And Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha is to undertake aerial survey on flood-affected areas in Chennai, Tiruvallur and Kanchipuram. Adayar River flows over the Saidapet Bridge, and the main place, the Tambaram, Mudichur, Koturpuram, Saidapet, Annanagar, Villivakam are all flooded. So people are not able to come out. And also getting the essential commodities has become a big problem. Chennai Airport is closed till December 6th. And also 12 teams have to be flown from Mumbai and Goa, and helicopters have been asked from Mumbai and Goa. And schools, colleges have been shut down today. And interestingly, the IT hub is mostly affected, and most of the IT companies' water is flooded, and there is about 4 feet water in the Infosys IT center at Chennai. And also about 800 people who were stranded in the Chennai airport have been sent to different places, and they have been asked to go by other flights.
All right. Suresh, hang on with us. Let me also tell our viewers that the Navy has in fact rushed the INS Airawat with 5 additional boats besides 6 integral boats actually to bolster that rescue and relief operations, which is of course on in Chennai. The ship is also carrying 20 divers, some medical supplies and also relief material. But Suresh, around you, when you can see, and you've been speaking to the locals, of course, what is the main challenge that people are facing right now? Is it really the fact that they've been marooned in their own houses? There's no proper place to go to?
Yeah, the main place is they cannot come outside. Because completely all the roads near the houses are flooded. And even to get a milk, it's very difficult. They are isolated from the city. So most of the places are cut because of water. That is the problem.
All right, Suresh, thanks so much for joining us. We'll keep coming to you, of course, through the day for more updates. And as far as taking a stock of the situation goes, here's a story.
Incessant rains have turned Chennai into a virtual island, with houses, roads, railway tracks and the airport marooned by floodwaters. Rivers in and around Chennai are flowing above danger levels, aggravating the flood crisis in the city. Thousands of people have been rendered homeless, while many are stranded at different locations. With floodwaters entering homes, people have been forced to take shelter on rooftops. Adding to the flood fury, the rising water levels have choked the city's drainage system. On flooded roads, nothing except boats are plying. The airport has been shut down till the 6th of December. The naval air station at Arakonam is likely to be turned into a makeshift airport for commercial flights.
The city of Chennai is full of water. Unprecedented rains. And the forecast continues for the next 3 days also. Even the runway is underwater. And as soon as the weather clears, we plan to run bigger aircraft to Chennai to clear the pending large amount of rush which would have accumulated there, the demand which would have accumulated.
The Southern Railways has cancelled more trains, leaving hundreds of passengers stranded.
7 മണിക്ക് വന്ന ട്രെയിൻ രാത്രി 2:30 മണിക്കാണ് ബീച്ച് റോഡിലെത്തിയത്.
एक साल से चेन्नई में रह रहा हूँ. अभी चेन्नई में पूरा पानी हो रहा है, बारिश होकर पूरा फुल पानी है. ऐसा बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है चेन्नई.
Chennai's Infotech hub has also been badly hit by the unprecedented floods. Offices of many companies inundated, outstation employees have been asked to leave the city. Rescue teams are working tirelessly to shift people to safer areas and provide food items to those stranded in their homes. The Navy has rushed INS Airawat in addition to several boats to bolster the rescue and relief efforts. Chief Minister J. Lalita is expected to conduct an aerial survey of the flood-hit districts later in the day. The centre has announced 900 crore to the state for flood relief. Other states have also announced relief funds for the rain-battered state.
The government of India is arrived to the situation. The Honourable Prime Minister spoke to Madam Jayalalitha ji and assured her that the centre will extend all the support. I am in constant touch with the Defence Minister. Whatever support is required, he said he is extending.
With the Met forecasting more rains over the next 2-3 days, Chennai braces for more trouble.
Tamil Nadu isolated heavy rainfall is still expected.
The worst rains in more than 100 years have claimed 197 lives so far. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Lok Sabha members spoke in one voice on Wednesday as they discussed the flood situation in Tamil Nadu, urging the government to help the state deal with the large-scale devastation. The members also demanded that the floods be declared a national calamity.
Lok Sabha members expressed their concerns over the flooding in Tamil Nadu and some parts of Andhra Pradesh during a discussion held under Rule 193. AIADMK MPs demanded that the union government release money from the NDRF funds to help in rescue and relief operations.
Release immediately the entire demanded amount of rupees 8,480.93 crore from the National Disaster Response Fund for flood damages suffered by the state of Tamil Nadu. I would like to state that the timely release of adequate funds by the Union government will help Tamil Nadu to undertake temporary and permanent restoration of infrastructure and other utilities on war footing basis.
Members of other parties too demanded that the floods in Tamil Nadu be declared a national disaster. The Congress party urged the Prime Minister and central teams to assess the situation on the ground.
Government of India should rise to the occasion with all sorts of assistance, should discuss with the chief ministers of the state in a broad way, and the central team who go to visit and to assess the situation, their decision not has to be taken as granted, that what they are making for recommendations, that is going to be accepted.
When the situation is so grievous and serious, Home Minister should have taken at least one trip. It is not far off. See, in helicopter views, like Jammu and Kashmir, they took. Like that, Prime Minister and Home Minister could have gone 2-3 hours and come back.
Replying for the government, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Rajiv Pratap Rudy said that the centre was committed to help Tamil Nadu in every way. The two governments are also in constant touch with each other.
We are very deeply concerned with whatever is happening in Chennai, and we are certainly, everyone is aware that Prime Minister is keeping a tab on what is happening in Chennai, the Home Minister is keeping a tab, and the whole government is aware, and they are in constant touch with the State Chief Minister and the administration.
Home Minister Rajnath Singh will speak on the issue on Thursday. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha Television.
And the Upper House of Parliament too discussed the flood situation on Wednesday. During a short duration discussion, members spoke about the need for urgency as far as dealing with the situation was concerned.
Sir, I really think
the flood situation in Chennai was discussed in Rajya Sabha as well. During the short duration discussion on the issue, DMK MP Kanimoi described the dire situation in her state and appealed to all not to play politics over the issue.
Government is supporting the Tamil Nadu government to this extent, but we need much more because the situation is so grave. The help which has come is definitely not enough. People are marooned all over, just not Chennai. The districts around Chennai have been really badly affected. People have to be rescued. The water levels are rising and the rains are not stopping.
Members also urged the government to send a high-level delegation to the state to take stock of the situation. AIA-DMK members briefed the House about the rescue and relief operations in the state.
It has to be brought into the Tamil Nadu and see that the people are rehabilitated. And also the infrastructure have to be immediately brought back properly. You know very well that the military is very much equipped to put the temporary bridges.
The Honourable Chief Minister instructed that relief should be dispersed to the affected people as per enhanced norms without any delay. The Chief Secretary to the government convened a monsoon preparedness meeting with all the line department officials on 1/10/2015 and issued instructions with regard to the preparedness for the northeast monsoon 2015.
MPs also offered to give a part of their MP-led fund towards flood relief in Tamil Nadu. Some members suggested that fishermen could be useful in this situation.
We are prepared as a party and as an MP that if the government so decides, we can allocate part of our MP-led funds to go there for our relief operations, and that I think is a decision which I'm sure all of us will agree.
On behalf of my party also, we will be forthcoming, will be supporting the people of Tamil Nadu insofar as the MP-led is concerned.
Yes,
whatever amount is fixed by the Honourable Chairman of the House, so we'll be also supporting them.
State level पर, district level पर इस तरह का कोऑर्डिनेशन डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट का होना चाहिए कि कोई भी देश का जिला उन संसाधनों से वंचित नहीं होना चाहिए जो मदद के काम के लिए आवश्यक होते हैं.
Members spoke in one voice as they urged the government to help Tamil Nadu cope with the disaster. Ravindra Sharon's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Andhra Pradesh coastal area.
On to other news, and the Cabinet has given its nod to setting up and operationalization of 6 new IITs. Ex post facto approval was also given to the easing of FDI policy in 15 sectors, which was approved by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi last month. In fact, less than a month after approval by the Prime Minister, the Cabinet also gave its nod to relaxation in FDI for 15 sectors, including real estate, defence, civil aviation and news broadcasting. The Cabinet also gave its approval to the setting up and operationalization of 6 new IITs in Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir, Kerala and Karnataka. The Cabinet also approved the introduction of the Regional Centre for Biotechnology Bill 2015 in Parliament. Changes in the implementation framework of National Rural Livelihood Mission have also been cleared. Now, the rehabilitation package and upgradation of infrastructure of Bangladeshi enclaves and Cooch Behar district, especially after the transfer of enclaves between India and Bangladesh, was also approved by the Cabinet. Without a quick break here, we'll be back with more news in just a bit. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m., Saturday 12:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Welcome back. Now, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj may travel to Pakistan next week for a multilateral meeting. This is likely to break the impasse in Indo-Pak ties. The minister, however, has said that her visit has not been finalized yet. Pakistan is hosting a 40-nation ministerial level conference on the 8th of December to discuss regional cooperation on Afghanistan. Swaraj has been invited, but New Delhi has so far given no indication whether she will be attending it or not. PTI quoting sources says that prospects of the Indian minister's visit were fairly bright, but a final decision was likely to be announced by Friday. After the cabinet meeting on Wednesday, Swaraj had stayed back and held discussions with the Prime Minister for nearly 20 minutes. To a specific question on whether she is travelling to Pakistan next week, she said, and I quote, "It is not final so far." Well, the possibility of the visit comes after Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a brief but warm chat with his Pakistani counterpart Nawaz Sharif on the sidelines of the Climate Change Summit in Paris. Sharif later told Pakistani media that the talks that were held were in a good way, in a good environment. While hoping to stabilize relations with another neighbour, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj met Nepal's Deputy Prime Minister Kamal Thapa on Wednesday. India has once again conveyed to Nepal to normalise the situation there politically. Meanwhile, in Rajya Sabha, a calling attention of the External Affairs Minister has been made on the situation in Nepal and the state of Indo-Nepal relations.
Nepal Deputy Prime Minister Kamal Thapa met External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj in New Delhi. The discussion centred resumption of smooth supply of essential goods between the two countries. The supply of goods has been disrupted due to protests by ethnic communities in the Himalayan nation against the new constitution. Nepal has been facing shortage of essential goods and medicines as a result of supply crunch. Soon after the meeting, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Vikas Swarup tweeted, and I quote, "Sushma Swaraj meets Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Kamal Thapa, reiterates need for urgent political solution to political problems facing Nepal." India has also told Nepal that it needs to normalize its political situation as soon as possible. Swarup tweeted, and I quote again, "Sushma Swaraj assures DPM Kamal Thapa that there is no hindrance to supplies from India, but Nepal needs to normalize the situation as soon as possible." Protests against Nepal's new constitution have been going on since September. People from ethnic Madhesi groups living along the border with India began protests saying Nepal's first republican charter did not accommodate their interests. Protesters have blocked trucks coming from India for more than 2 months, leading to acute shortages of fuel and medicine. After his meeting with Swaraj, Thapa tweeted, "Had fruitful and cordial meeting with Indian Minister of External Affairs Ms. Sushma Swaraj today in New Delhi." Nepal has been accusing India of imposing an unofficial blockade of supplies, a charge India has vehemently denied. India has maintained its trucks have been hampered from entering Nepal, firstly due to security concerns and later because protesters were blocking the roads. There have been several rounds of negotiations between the government, the opposition and protesting Madhesi leaders, but there has been no concrete result. On Wednesday, the much-anticipated tripartite talks between Nepal government, opposition Nepali Congress and the Madhesis were cancelled after Madhesi leaders did not show up for the meeting to find a solution to end the nearly 3-month political logjam. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Justice T.S. Thakur, the senior-most judge of the Supreme Court, will take oath as the next Chief Justice of India today. He succeeds Justice H.L. Dattu. Justice Thakur will have the tenure of CJI for a little over 1 year and would retire on the 4th of January 2017. He headed the bench which had delivered the verdict on reforming the BCCI in the wake of the IPL betting and spot-fixing scandal. The probe in the Sharda chit fund scam case is also being monitored by a Supreme Court bench headed by him. Ahead of his swearing-in, T.S. Thakur stressed on the need to fill up vacancies in courts across the country, saying that the striking down of the recent constitutional amendment on judges' appointment has made the selection task much more difficult. Now let's take a look at the other important news-making events through the day. On the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will launch the Accessible India campaign today. It aims to ensure ease of access for persons with disabilities in government buildings, public transportation and the information technology field. On the occasion, the Prime Minister will also present awards to individuals and organizations for outstanding contributions towards the empowerment of disabled persons. The Delhi Assembly will discuss the Jan Lokpal Bill today. The bill was tabled by the ruling AAP government amid protests by opposition BJP earlier this week. In protest, a delegation of Delhi BJP leaders will meet Lieutenant Governor Najib Jung today to submit a memorandum on misconduct of Assembly and illegal presentation of the bill. The Congress is also against the proposed legislation and has planned a protest march outside the Assembly today. The Delhi High Court will hear former Arunachal Chief Minister P.K. Thungon's plea against his conviction. Thungon was convicted and jailed for 4.5 years in a graft case by a trial court on the 21st of July. The case pertains to misappropriation of funds amounting to 2 crore rupees released by the Centre for the Public Welfare of Nagaland. The Delhi High Court will also hear arguments on maintainability of a plea seeking a court-monitored probe against Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh. The CM has been accused of amassing assets disproportionate to known sources of his income. The High Court decided to reopen the issue of maintainability after senior advocate Kapil Sibal, who is appearing for the Chief Minister, said that the court had never heard them on this aspect. For international news, and in a case of another mass shooting in the United States, at least 14 people were killed in a social service agency in the Southern Californian city of San Bernardino. On Wednesday, a manhunt was underway for up to 3 suspects who opened fire. Here's more.
Police have gunned down 2 and are hunting for one more suspect who killed at least 14 people and wounded 17 at a facility for disabled people at the Inland Regional Center in San Bernardino. San Bernardino Police Chief Gerard Burgon said law enforcement responded to calls about the shooting with a massive presence, quickly beginning to secure the area and clear the building.
What we have so far is information that up to 3 people had entered the building and had opened fire on people inside of the building. We do have some preliminary numbers of upwards of 14 people that are dead.
Burgon in a televised news briefing said the suspects carried long guns, wore masks and camouflage clothing, were believed to have fled the building, possibly making their getaway in a dark-colored sport utility vehicle.
Information that I think is probably the most reliable at this point is that the suspects have fled, potentially in a dark-colored SUV. We do not have any identification on who those suspects are. We do not know what the motive is for the shooting at this point.
US President Barack Obama, who was briefed of the situation, reiterated his call for more gun control reforms to make mass shootings in the US rare as opposed to normal. Speaking to CBS News moments after news broke of the shooting, Obama called for common sense gun safety laws.
There are some steps we could take, not to eliminate every one of these mass shootings, but to improve the odds that they don't happen as frequently. Common sense gun safety laws, stronger background checks.
The shooting in California comes less than a week after a gunman killed 3 people and wounded 9 in a shooting rampage at a Planned Parenthood clinic in Colorado Springs. In October, a gunman killed 9 people at a college in Oregon, and in June, a white gunman killed 9 black churchgoers in South Carolina. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
In a historic vote, British lawmakers opted to back a government motion to extend airstrikes against Islamic State to include Syria. The opposition had been deeply divided over the issue for days, but with 66 Labour MPs siding with the government, the strikes have now already been set in motion. Britain now joins France in the US-led coalition committed to tackling the Islamic State.
With an overwhelming vote, UK has moved forward on its plans for deeper involvement in the Syrian conflict. After an impassioned 10-hour Commons debate, British MPs voted 397 to 223 in favour of launching airstrikes against the militant group, expanding its hold in Syria.
Ayes to the right 397, the noes to the left 223. So the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Unlock.
A total of 66 Labour MPs sided with the government as David Cameron secured a larger than expected majority. But he welcomed the support, saying the lawmakers have taken the right decision to keep the country safe.
We're very pleased that a significant number of Labour MPs have voted with the government tonight, so that we've got a clear majority across the House of Commons in support of the action that we are now going to be taking to degrade this evil terrorist organisation. Britain is safer tonight because of the decision that the House of Commons has taken.
Just 2 hours after the vote, 4 British aircrafts took off from RAF Akrotiri in Cyprus to bomb Islamic State targets in Syria. More fighter jets are on standby. Many British voters are weary of being dragged into another war in the Middle East. News of the vote was met by anti-war protesters demonstrating outside Parliament. But the November 13 attacks on Paris that killed over 130 people have only strengthened the government's resolve to fight the Islamic State. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all we have for you on Breakfast News. Thanks so much for joining us.